Welcome to another bonus edition of Upon Further Review.
Upon further review,
In this edition, we'll be talking about the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. You can catch this Week 3 matchup on September 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on your local Fox affiliates, and of course that's 1 p.m. West Coast time. So we have these two NFC West rivals going at it here in Week 3. The Cardinals are already off to a 2-0 start, as they won that tough game on Monday Night Football to open up the season in Week 1 against San Diego in Arizona, as they won by 1 point as they came from behind to win. And then in Week 2, they went to New York without Carson Palmer behind center, as Drew Stanton was able to do enough to lead them to victory at 25-14, as the defense came up big and Ellington had 91 yards running on the ground. So the Cardinals are in first place in the West. In San Francisco, they started off strong with a win in Dallas against the Cowboys, but then on their home opener in Week 2, the Bears came into San Francisco and came from behind to defeat the Niners in the first regular season game ever at Levi Stadium. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in Week 3, as the Niners are going to travel to Arizona. Kaepernick, he's looked impressive in Week 2 on the ground. Of course, turnovers hurt them in that game against Chicago, and their defense was exposed, as the Niners' defense was one of the top defenses in the league last year, and coming into the season this year, they were ranked high, and they looked, all right against Dallas. Of course, they let them come back in the second half a little bit. Of course, it was too little too late for the Cowboys, but then in Week 2, Brandon Marshall caught those 3 touchdowns and kind of exposed the Niners. It's really a matter of depth, that they're banged up. Injuries are starting to catch up with the 49ers. They still got a lot of talent on their defense regardless, but they're just not as deep as they were, being that they're missing some of their top defensive superstars on that 49ers defense. Arizona has some injuries also, but it doesn't seem to be really affecting their defense too much, as they're playing lights out, and they're one of the top defenses in the NFL so far this season. They were one of the top defenses last year as well, as they've got probably, arguably, the best secondary in football, so they shouldn't really have too much trouble stopping the passing game of San Francisco, which has actually struggled. Really, they've been struggling for a while. They haven't really had a prolific passing attack for some time. Of course, Colin Kaepernick is getting better with passing the ball. Of course, his main strength is his legs, as he's one of the best running quarterbacks the league's ever seen. At least when it comes to playoff times, he's already set some records. He's already up there in the top 5 playoff rushing quarterbacks ever. So, we'll see here. The running game is going to be the key for the Niners if they want to win this game. That's really the strength of their offense, and that's what the Cardinals are going to have to do. They're going to have to load up in the box, bring up 8 guys in the box to stop Frank Gore. And they also got to contain and put a spy on Kaepernick to make sure that he doesn't scramble out of the pocket. As they said, that's when he gets dangerous. He also, when he starts scrambling and guys end up getting open, that leads to some big plays downfield for the Niners. For the Cardinals, though, they've got Carson Palmer coming back this week from the looks of it, and that is definitely good news for the fans in Arizona. Ellington also is looking to play. He's been a little banged up so far this year, but he's been playing. So he had a better game against the Giants. Of course, going against the Niners, they have a better defense than the Giants, and they'll have their work cut out for them. This game should definitely be a knockdown, drag them out, physical defensive battle. Of course, it's going to come down to if Carson Palmer can do what he does, and that's make big plays late in the game at the opportune moments. Carson Palmer's not necessarily the gunslinger that he once was, but now he's more the wily veteran who takes care of the ball and manages the game clock. As you see so far in the season, he has 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Of course, that was in Week 1. He did not play in Week 2. And Drew Stanton, actually, although he didn't throw any touchdowns against the Giants, he didn't throw an interception. The Cardinals are very well coached, and they do not really turn the ball over. Of course, Ellington did have that one fumble, but with Bruce Arian there, he's got them playing at a very high level. They were very competitive last year, and they're very competitive this year. I actually believe the Cardinals are going to win the NFC West this year. I would give them the inside track on doing that. I know a lot of people don't think that's going to be the case, but I do believe that they will win that division. And I think that this game right here goes a long way towards that because you cannot afford to lose at home to division rivals if you want to win your division. So the Cardinals, this is a must win if they want to make the playoffs. If they want to win this division, they got to win these type of games. Same goes for San Francisco. If they want to have any chance, they got to win in division. Of course, the Niners, I really think this would be an off year for them. They've been so good for so long. They went to 3 straight NFC championship games. That kind of, that's an extra season. That's an extended season. They're playing so long, so deep in the playoffs. It's tough to continue at that pace. Eventually, you have a fall off year. The injuries, things caught up to them. But they're still competitive. They're still tough. They've still got players, and they're still going to make this game interesting. I still see this game coming down to the wire, down to the fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, down to the final play. I actually think the Cardinals win this one on a field goal on the last play, and that they win this game 23-20. That would be my prediction. I know that's very specific, and I usually don't get that specific, but that's what I see happening here. That's what actually I've seen happen many times last year. The Cardinals coming down to the wire. It happened in week 1 too, down to the wire, end of the game. That's the Arizona Cardinals style of football. Is that they play excellent defense, they control the clock, and they run the ball. Maybe not the best running team, but they run the ball to eat the clock, and then they take care of the ball, and then they keep it within 1 possession, within 1 score, and at the end of the game, Carson Palmer, he does what he has to do. He's clutch. Let's think, he don't take the chances throughout the whole game because he's protecting the football. He's playing it cool, playing it smart, and then he picks his spots, he picks his moments. And when it comes down to the end, when it comes down to the game on the line, in those moments, he is the definition of clutch, and he comes through, and he leads the Cardinals to victory. And that's what's going to happen in this week. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear your opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, as we are bringing you more and more content every day.